for one of the most unique and fun shows on the internet? Well, if you're not ready, why are you here? This is After School with the Awesome Lawsons. You may think you know Cadence and Eli, but now's your chance to really get to know them. The Awesome Lawsons. Finally, something for the whole family. In this crazy world, we need the positive energy. We need the love. And we need to laugh more. And that's what you get here on After School with the Awesome Lawsons.
Hey, everybody. School's out, and we are back yet again with another fun-filled family episode. Episode number 6. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We're doing something a little different. Tonight is actually the first night that we have 4 people here on the podcast. And not only are we 4 people, we're 4 family members. We're 4 family members. So Cadence and Eli aren't on this one, so we thought we'd do something a little different. And that's why we're here, baby. Right?
Yeah.
What were you supposed to click right there?
No, I clicked it right.
Oh.
It's all good. So thanks for letting us. We actually packed everything up, so we're not in the garage tonight. We're actually warm while filming the podcast, and there's going to be no birds.
If you hear a bird chirping something,
episode 3. Yeah. If you hear a bird you might hear a cricket. I don't know. Probably not. You just had your house sprayed.
Yeah, we should be good.
Jamie,
I can open the back door, I guess. We can pretend.
but yeah. So we got Dustin and Jamie here, my cousin and his wife, and then we got Nene on the episode. First episode for Nene. So
hello.
Also known as Whitney, which is my wife.
That's right. Lucky you.
Exactly. Lucky me. So thanks for letting us use your house. That's where I was at. I lose track all the time. That's where we was at. So we're not in the garage.
Yes.
We're at the kitchen table.
At the kitchen table.
At their house.
At their house.
Solve all the problems at the kitchen table.
That's right.
Did you introduce them, Jamie and Dustin?
Yeah,
I said that.
Yeah.
So
let's
start off with this.
how they met.
Yeah, well,
No.
Whoa. So we had Dustin on the podcast. So let me tell you how we got here. We had Dustin on the podcast, and we got to talking. We're like, you know what? Not only do we have crazy kids, as in me and Whitney, y'all got crazy kids too. So I think that's why it's perfect. And both of our lives are completely what? What's
crazy?
The word?
Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yes. Yeah.
What would you consider it?
Who?
You. I'm looking at you.
Consider what?
Our lives.
Have you been
okay?
I'm
listening. Are you listening?
I'm kind of zoned out.
Here's the thing.
She's new to the podcast.
Yeah. You have to pay attention. So yeah, how would you consider our lives?
Busy, crazy, wild,
interesting,
and schedule's always changing.
Yeah, but y'all's schedule's probably all over the place.
Yes, definitely.
There's always something. Work, school, kids, dance.
So y'all dance or?
Oh,
Dustin's on Magic Mike.
Are you secretly dancing, Jamie?
Well,
are you taking secret lessons?
That would be cool. Not secret, but
actual ballroom
dancing.
dancing.
We want to do at some point. Yeah, do ballroom dancing together.
How do you feel about that, Jamie?
He can dance. Me. You ever see those swing dancing, people that swing dance together? I would
think it'd be
love.
awesome.
Yes, I would love to learn how to do that.
Like that fast. I would for one need an inhaler. So you're talking about the foxtrot, right?
Yes, the fast swing dancing.
Yeah, I'd be done. I would be absolutely.
Where they're just getting it.
I'd be like, help me, help me, don't throw me.
Here's the thing: your average person or couple can't do that, right? So even if you take lessons,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
lessons and only can just do it barely, you're still going to look so much better than the rest of the population.
Than 97%.
Yeah, if you show up at a wedding.
Oh yeah, you're kidding.
At the
that's
reception,
right.
They're going to be
like, start doing something like
encore.
That. Oh,
encore.
yeah, everybody, absolutely. The whole place is going to go crazy.
That's good. That's great. So how long y'all been married, man?
9.5 years. No, 8.5. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It'll be 9 years.
He's in trouble.
It'll be 9 years in August.
Here,
8.5 years.
Well, Yeah, 8.5 years now.
9 years.
Thankfully, we have a spare bedroom.
9 years. Ago.
Should we go ahead and pack up our stuff and leave?
And that's it tonight, folks. How Jamie, how'd y'all met? Or how'd you meet? That was totally improper English. How'd y'all met?
That's actually
Well,
proper.
we are from Kentucky.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Kentucky.
That's proper Bowling Green language, baby.
Let's hear it, babe.
we met at work. You made me nervous.
What do you mean?
Tell me more.
Oh.
Hold on, wait. You said he made you nervous. Was this back when he had those like really thin frame glasses?
He would have scared me.
Are you judging?
No, seriously. What do you mean nervous?
Well,
And the big baggy pants.
no, I changed that really quick.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
What they call them, Jinkos or
Nah,
something?
He used to wear those.
All right,
He used to
sidebar.
wear those.
Did you really?
I did have Jinkos
Absolutely.
back when they were popular. It's not like I had them 5 years ago, right? It
That's
was
true.
middle school, early high school days when they were super popular. I also had a pair of Jinko shoes. I don't know if anybody even knew they made
Hey,
shoes.
you was
No,
you
I
was
did
a
not know
dog.
they made
I was
Jinko shoes.
doing it.
Yeah.
That's back when I used to put clothes on layaway, man, back in like middle.
At Kmart.
Hey, you gotta do what you got. Times are tough, man. I told you about my childhood, man.
I know,
It's
yeah.
tough growing up, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. So how do you make you nervous?
Well, we worked, he's a radiology tech and I'm a nurse. And so we both worked in surgery, but he would be up all in my stuff. And he made me nervous because he's really good at his job and
So you was intimidated.
extremely, but I'm not intimidated easily.
What about now? Do you feel?
She's not a
No, not at all.
No.
Does he make me nervous now?
No, do you feel intimidated by him now?
Loud. Come on now,
Got
child.
rid of that quick.
So y'all was at the hospital dating?
Oh,
I mean, that's where you met.
well, we kept it a secret for a while, and then I posted a picture on Instagram because I thought it was like a photo, like you could just make your photos look good, but evidently not.
You thought he photoshopped himself?
No, but I photoshopped him on Instagram, and then I posted it because I thought it was like a picture, like make your pictures look better app, and it's not. And my boss actually liked the picture, and I about died.
So she accidentally posted a picture of
Yes,
you?
that is correct.
Really? I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Like I never heard this story.
And but we also were hanging out. We'd only been hanging out for like a week maybe, and I had to get dress clothes for an event, and she met me there to help me pick out the dress clothes because obviously I'm colorblind and have no style either. So I needed some help, and we're walking around the corner. I think it was at Kohl's, and we walk around the corner, and like somebody from the hospital like literally bumps right into us, and it's just like a
We're
I
here.
tried to hide.
yeah. She took off. You find her in the middle of a clothes rack, like what are you doing? But
I was like, I don't want anybody to know.
So how long did y'all work together?
We've been working together since 2010, but we didn't really know each other until 2012. I would say.
So you just kind of worked side by side and like casual conversation until...
Correct. He was engaged, so he was off the market.
Gotcha. So you just took him as a friend.
Well, I didn't really know him.
Yeah,
I
we
was like,
didn't-
he does X-ray. Not cool. Me, a nurse.
Wow.
Really cool. No, I'm just kidding.
Just disrespected
Definitely not.
all the X-ray techs.
I
Have you
see
ever- have
why
ever
you
seen-
changed
Have you ever
jobs.
seen the show Scrubs?
I don't want no scrub.
You haven't seen the show Scrubs? Have you? You know how they have that like battle between each other, like medical versus
Oh,
surgery?
absolutely.
So I'm sure that's like,
And
you
it's
know,
a
he's
thing.
X-ray, so
Yeah,
yeah,
we're cool nurses.
yeah.
By the
don't-
way, it's Nurses Week next week.
I don't watch no Scrubs. I never seen a show ever
Scrubs
before.
is really good. It's super funny too.
That's like Grey's Anatomy. I don't watch it either.
Oh my gosh,
I can't.
love Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I won't. It's not going to happen.
I love going back on certain episodes and just like I know I'm gonna cry and I'm like I'm gonna re-cry again because I love this episode.
So why can't you watch it? What's your deal with it?
It's just boring.
Okay.
How
I
dare
mean,
you.
one, probably because I'm a guy. So like,
So if I were to say it's a beautiful day to save lives, you wouldn't know who said that.
No.
I don't
you
know.
just did, but that's all that I really kind of
Derek
know.
Shepard, hello, McDreamy.
Yeah, for real though.
I don't know McDreamy.
What about
know-
McSteamy?
I know what a McMuffin is. That's about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I don't know no McDreamy. I know who McDonald's is.
Oh my goodness.
McNasty. That's about it. That's on a movie, McNasty, isn't it?
McLovin.
Maybe, yeah, McLovin.
Gosh.
Yeah, McLovin.
McLovin,
I knew it sounded familiar.
Well, he was from Hawaii, so it's fine.
That's
I
right.
get that you don't understand that.
That's
We're
good.
from Kentucky, so it's
good.
good.
But yeah, that's why I don't like Scrubs or the ER or Mom loved DR when that came. You remember when that came out? She was in love.
I don't remember
Okay,
that
so
show.
what's your go-to show then? Now or something you watched in the past that you just absolutely love?
Okay, co-host.
Yeah,
You know,
He's good at this.
my absolute when I get home, I don't watch much TV, but
Hold on, let me answer this for you, and then you'll tell me your answer, okay?
All right, a couple of things,
Okay.
right? Let's see what
Yeah.
she thinks you're going to say.
I would think, I can't remember the name, but it's the Alaskan show. Like they hunt and they survive out in the wild.
when's the last time I watched that?
No, I'm saying if you had to pick a show like to watch when you got home, like you like
Yeah, but I
all this
haven't picked
outdoorsy
that.
stuff.
I haven't picked that recently.
I'm not saying recently. I'm saying in general.
Yeah, I do like stuff like that. Like
If you had to pick one show to come home and watch.
Well, he invited Bear Grylls on his island adventure, but
Yeah.
me, I was X'd off.
I would say any kind of like challenge or like elimination shows. We've been watching. I love. So what's that cowboy show we've been watching?
Oh, Yellowstone.
So Yellowstone's good, but
Oh, yeah.
19.
No, it's not 19. It's 1887, isn't it?
No, there's Yellowstone
1923?
19 something.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord Jesus.
But that one with
Is amazing.
We haven't watched that yet.
with
We have not watched that.
dude who used to play Indiana Jones.
Harrison Ford.
Oh man,
Okay, we have to watch
It's really good.
I'm telling the love. Okay.
It's better than Yellowstone.
Okay, here's the deal. I do not like love stories, okay? But
Why? Continue, sorry.
I just think it's boring. I want to see something blow up.
That's reasonable.
I mean, honestly, I'm a
That's reasonable.
dude, you know, so.
Reasonable.
But the love story in this is, it's an action love story, so I think that's why I like it. It's really, really good, isn't it? I mean,
But their love is so pure.
Yeah, it's
and
pure
so, like,
and innocent.
spur of the moment.
Yeah, it's super spur of the moment.
It's crazy.
I think spur of the moment's fun.
Yeah.
Babe, what would I watch?
You want me to put this out here on this public?
I can answer it, and I'm not her husband.
Ooh,
She would watch a Real Housewives of
Absolutely.
something.
Bad Girls Club, reruns. Yeah.
I was going to say Dancing with the Stars.
I love
That's a
that
good
show.
one, too. That's a good one for her, but definitely mindless television. Real Housewives of whatever city you can think of.
You really do know her because before you got home, she was saying, I love like mindless TV. I think that's the exact words that came out of her mouth.
It is.
Unless you were totally listening in on it.
I'm going to be honest right now, y'all. I don't even know what
Busted.
mindless TV is.
You don't have to think about
Stuff
it.
you don't have to think about.
Oh, gotcha.
You literally just
Stupid.
watch it. If you miss something,
like
you missed
trash
it. You don't have to
reality
look back.
TV.
So you guys listening to this podcast are mindless podcast listeners, because I feel like that's what it is. It's just fun, and if you miss something, it's all good because you're going to catch it on the next episode.
That's right. Dustin's watching Naked and Afraid.
Oh yeah, we
I
talked
love
about that.
show.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my god,
It is good.
It is.
Either that or what's the Ultimate Champion of Chopped?
I
the cooking show? I like cooking shows.
I like those shows.
You know what I really liked is those barbecue shows, like where they're.
I was a
Remember that one we
barbecue.
watched?
Yeah,
it was
it was
good.
good.
Some blue is a blue collar lady. Does that make sense? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Some down south old one, some woman with pearls.
Okay.
She was a real fancy girl. She won the whole competition.
Yeah, she was
Smoking meat like barbecue.
That's my
She was a
favorite.
beast.
I do like Chopped though. Is that the one where they're like, okay, you have this ingredient, this ingredient?
Yeah, they give you like 4 basket
Yes.
ingredients.
That's
and you
fun.
make
I
a
love that
dish.
show. Yes.
Hey, we did something like that back in the day.
With ramen noodles.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We had a ramen noodle cook-off.
Yep.
Oh my.
What were the rules? Do
Who
you remember?
won? Who won?
I don't know. They were both good.
I do know who won, actually.
Of course,
Of course.
he does. I mean,
Hey, he been
I do
cooking them
remember
all
that.
his life, man. It ain't fair.
Daniel actually won. He made an omelet.
Did I really?
Yeah, you made an omelet with ramen in it somehow. I can't remember what else was in it. I just went the old basic stir fry route with some
Yeah,
diced
I do
chicken
remember
and some
that.
veggies and ramen.
Ew,
That's-
you made an omelet.
I don't even
And
know.
it was
did you put egg in it?
it was
Yeah.
fire. It was.
Oh,
What do you make your omelets out of?
I don't cook, people.
You used eggs?
I've got a husband that cooks. I don't have to cook. I'm very blessed.
Speaking of eggs,
Omelet?
tell them how you smashed 4 eggs over your head literally about an hour ago.
Yeah, right before we came. So we had to film. So our short's going to be hitting tomorrow, actually. So you've already seen it if you're hearing this episode. But, yeah, I smashed like 4 eggs on my head. And Whitney's mom's like, I want to see it. So I was like, I just walked over to the egg and did another one. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you do it outside in the garage?
No, we
No.
did it
In
in
the
the
bathtub?
kitchen.
No, we just
Nice.
did it in there.
And
YOLO,
then,
baby.
and then the dog came over and started helping me clean it up. So I was
Oh,
like,
Lord.
I let her. I'm like, it's less for me to clean up.
So omelets, you never cooked them. Oh, we was
I
talking
cooked
about
'em.
We're talking
I
about the
just
ramen noodle
don't cook.
cook-off. The cook-off.
the cook-off.
Yeah.
But it was bussin'.
He won. It was,
Hold on. Who is the judge?
I think we both
we
were.
both concurred.
We
that
took a vow that whoever is the winner is the winner.
So y'all, you should have had someone from like a third party.
No, we signed a waiver.
Yeah, this was also very spur of the moment, right? We didn't.
He was like, "Yo, you want to go downstairs and have a ramen noodle cook-off?" He probably just got done watching Chopped.
I think the only rules were like
Or they were making their rap about macaroni.
It was just
I'm
like-
not sure.
That's what it was.
Yes.
you could only use what was in the cabinets, but at the same time, I'm 21, 20. I don't know how old I was, but we didn't have a whole lot in the cabinet, so it was.
Yeah.
You did a chopped cook-off
We had like
at
ramen
21?
and eggs.
Yeah, girl.
Ramen?
I thought
And-
maybe you were like,
Like
11
14?
or 12, not 21.
Oh, I was-
No, we
It's
was
more
grown.
nice.
I was out of school.
yeah. So I was at least 25, maybe.
I was
don't know.
probably I was probably 18 or 19.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, my goodness.
It was good, mindless
I love mine.
Activities.
fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I'll reel us back in. Sorry, we got off topic, but that's what it's all about. It's just getting together and talking and have a good time and just being able to speak and let your voice be heard.
So
here.
we asked them how they met, but I would
Yes.
love to hear the story again on how Dustin proposed.
This one.
Yeah, let's-
when you asked
Let's fast
when
forward.
you asked her, how did y'all meet?
He knew
I
this
knew.
was coming.
You knew what I was.
I
what,
knew
you knew what I
In
meant,
my
right?
core,
You knew what I
that
meant.
this question was going to be asked.
Go
yeah.
ahead, babe. Tell him.
Tell us
Let me
this
set
beautiful
Let me
story.
set the scene.
Dun, dun,
It was a
dun.
dark evening aboard a cruise ship.
It was
All
dark,
right,
that's
so-
for sure.
So
Oh, it was during the night when he did this?
This was after captain's dinner. He had a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
plan.
Oh, I thought it was.
so look, all right. I had this ring for a long time.
Yeah.
She knew I had the ring. She helped me pick it out, essentially. But I was like, I'm just going to wait.
45 years.
I'm going to wait and make her. I didn't want to pick it out and then all of a sudden, boom, here. Like, let's wait and plan something. I did have a few plans. I didn't obviously follow through with them, but then we decided we're going to go on this cruise. And I'm like, all right, perfect.
It's going down.
Perfect scenario. Take the ring on the cruise. When we're all dressed up for captain's dinner, the plan was like when we get in line for a photo, like I'll boom right there, drop down on one knee. They'll catch the moment in real time. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We were dressed up, got in the photo line. They're taking our pictures, and I just freeze. I'll probably like yes, and probably my face is probably just frozen in the picture.
Oh man.
Hold on. Do you have that picture, by the way?
Absolutely.
I
Oh, we gotta
see
see it
I
after
gotta
this.
see
I'm
it.
completely locked up.
We can make that
And
the thumbnail. of the podcast.
I couldn't do it. Right, so we go through that. We might even take pictures again later. I can't remember, but
I bet you was sweating, dog.
I was sweating big time. We went to the captain's dinner. I could have even done it in the dining room of the captain's dinner, whatever.
Right.
Probably make a big thing out of it, but
Did you
I
have
just-
to use the bathroom? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
That's
His-
normal.
his
He always
stomach
has
was
to go
probably
back.
hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I was just curious.
Definitely.
So yeah, I mean, long story short, we get back into our cabin. We decide we're gonna go get out in the hot tub, so we're stripping down, changing into
And he got on one knee.
bathing suits.
Just kidding.
And I get the ring out of the box, and I basically just turn around
And hand it
as
to
she's
her?
turning around, and I guess I say something like,
Here you
maybe-
go.
Maybe it didn't come out right, but I was like,
Here, just take it.
that's how she remembers. I remember it more of like,
I would say
babe, I don't want
No.
to wait any longer for you to have this ring.
just
I have
take it.
You have to have it now, kind of a thing. And
That's
she
what.
said, I basically just turned and like threw the box at her and was like, "Here, take it." And I don't remember it that way.
Did it happen, Jamie, that way?
Absolutely.
I remember.
He was
I
probably
remember
just
the
so
cabin
nervous.
door came up. Doves flew into the cabin. It was
It's
this
getting deep.
whole thing, right? And but
So what did you do when he said, "Here, just take it"?
Well, I mean, he tortured me for 6 months waiting for this ring. So I thought it was going to be some epic surprise, but it obviously was, yes, definitely a surprise. I would have said yes no matter what. But I was like, oh, finally. It's been sitting at our house for 6 months collecting dust somewhere, which I had no idea where. But He said, I have all these plans.
She's probably like, yeah, you could have just did this at home
Correct.
5 months ago.
But it's fine.
But look
I
at us
married
now.
you. Look,
Yeah.
Look at us.
How many years?
Right. 8.5.
8.5.
It'll be
That
That's
was
right. Not in
good.
August. Not in August.
Hold on, wait. How many years have we been together?
I have to look at my keychain, honey. Heck.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Are you serious?
That's why you got it for me. I'm a busy man.
And I'm a busy woman.
Yes, you are. I'm not down counting that.
What year did we get together?
Back
Together
in the
or married?
2000s, baby.
2000 what? This is 2000.
I'd say it was after 2020.
Oh!
I don't know.
Are we? Hang on. Are we
Wait,
talking
we're in
got
20
together? Or are we talking married?
Yeah, I thought it
No,
was.
got together.
Oh,
yeah,
bro, that
yeah.
was like
2016?
2017.
Was it 2016?
It was 2016. It's sad how
she's
she
good
knows,
with
but my
dates.
husband
She's
does
good
not
with
know.
dates, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. She only remembers because that was the first time she came around Christmas.
It was
Wasn't
not
it?
2016.
Oh, Christmases are interesting at this household.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's,
No, she did not come around first time 2016.
no,
No.
we've been
It was like
We-
2012
we've
or
been married
2013.
since we've been married since
2012.
14.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Don't come at me, bruh. But anyways, how long have we been together since you know all the
it'll
answers?
be 7 years in October.
7 years, Jamie.
Aw.
Who asked that question?
It wasn't me.
Oh,
Why am I
7
getting-
years,
It was
honey.
Nene. It was Nene. Put
That's
you
funny.
on the spot.
7
You got a spare?
years.
You got a spare bedroom? We got one, buddy.
We got one.
You can
It's
crash
a
here.
real comfortable bed.
No, but we got a couch.
we got a dog bed. I'll probably sleep
you
on
go.
that dog bed with the dogs.
Yeah, it's got a big old hole in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put my arm in there for comfort. So you work together. So we're already skipping ahead. So you got kids.
Oh, yes.
We got kids.
2 beautiful, chaotic children.
And from my understanding, you have a little girl and a little boy. And I know this because
You're family.
I'm family.
I love how you said,
yeah,
from my understanding, like they just told you. And you
This was
understood
almost
from the
like, I felt like I
conversation.
was on, like, The Stand. He's my
Is that
Yeah,
a
from
from
my
my
is that one of those
understanding,
TV shows?
Children. Law and Order or
Yeah,
something. I don't know, but I don't
law,
watch
yeah,
it.
well, law, yeah.
Judge Judy.
I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, Judge Judy.
I
do
love
watch
Judge
that.
Judy. Oh,
Sorry.
So Saw and Coop.
Song Coop.
Let's
Sawyer.
fast forward. How was life when Saul was here? Like, how did y'all feel when Saul was here? Because that's first baby.
When she was here,
Like when she was born.
like 2 hours ago. Yeah, she was just here a minute ago. I mean, it's definitely it changes everything because now you're in charge of keeping somebody alive, keeping this human alive,
keeping them safe.
keeping them safe, nurturing them, all this stuff. Sleep schedules change, just everything. I mean, all of a sudden, your life now revolves around this little human instead of your selfish ways. So,
How old were you when she was born?
46.
Mm.
No, I'm just.
Oh, I was like,
he's
oh.
like, he's like,
Oh, wait a second.
31, 30, 30, 31.
I think you were 31. You
Somewhere in
wanted
there.
kids by the time you were 30, and that wasn't going to happen.
Didn't happen. Yeah.
How'd you feel? I mean, first time mom.
I mean, I'm going to be real. Postpartum depression is a real thing that people
Really?
need to
Sure
talk
is.
about
We just jumped
more
straight to that. Yeah.
often. Yes.
So-
I feel like I had that a lot with Leighton, my second
Yeah.
child, not my first with Cadence, but with Leighton, I feel like I had a lot of that.
I didn't really have depression as much as I had anxiety with trying to figure out how to keep her alive and nursing and not sleeping and what was getting dressed and taking a shower. I don't
Right.
know for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like no one could come visit unless they gave me a heads up because I was most of the time not dressed and one eye open.
Oh, you mean here at the house?
Oh, it was tough. She cried a lot.
That's how Leighton was. I remember FaceTiming. Do you remember that? You and Tanya, and I'm just crying my eyes out.
tough.
I mean, I had a lot of postpartum depression with Leighton.
So what causes that?
Hormone changes, but nobody talks about that. Like
And real quick for the record, you're finishing school here soon,
Mm-hmm.
and a nurse practitioner.
yes.
So when's that end? Real quick.
In the end of June.
So what she's saying is, or what I'm saying is,
I
you've
have
been
medical-
fact checked.
Yeah, I have
Fact
medical
checks right
She knows
here.
what
We
she's
got
talking
the
about,
best
yeah.
of the best. She's very smart. So anyways, sorry to interrupt.
But it's definitely hormonal changes and going through those changes of carrying a pregnancy, then going into the nursing stage where your body's making milk and those hormones change, but no one really talks about it. And then sleep deprivation is the biggest key in the whole game.
Where you like just don't get enough sleep from
Oh gosh,
staying up.
Saul cried like every chance she got. I feel like.
And they're up every 3 hours.
Oh no,
Yeah,
ours
she
stayed
was-
awake for the entire night, and I would go get Dustin, and I'd be like, "Hey, I need 30 minutes to like lay my head on the pillow, and no one could take care of her like me." And he would watch her for 30 minutes, and then I would come back in and nurse her again after like a 45-minute session, and then she'd finally fall asleep. And I thought, "Is this normal? Because I want no other children if this is normal."
Right.
Like, I can't do this again.
I mean, do you not remember Leighton, how she was colicky? She just cried.
Oh, yeah. There's
nonstop.
that point where.
I mean, it was rough.
And it's frustrating because you don't know how to fix it. And when they're that age, they can't tell you what hurts or,
Right. It's
You
the
just have
most
to guess.
It's a helpless feeling for sure.
I mean, I remember at one point I just started crying because it's like you don't know what else to do.
all-
I mean, you're exhausted.
And then going from that, how old's Coop?
Coop will be 4 on May 22nd.
Oh, wow. That's crazy to think, isn't
I
it?
These
know.
babies are
He's
growing
so
up.
rotten.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
he goes from
Hold on.
asking
Speaking
us-
of Cooper, tell them the story that you told me earlier when you started reading them the Bible.
He asked why he had to learn about Jesus. He wasn't really into that. So I'm like, honey,
You need
to
it.
hear this story.
She said, "If you you need Jesus more than anybody."
Yeah. I was like, listen, because, oh, boy.
That's funny.
Taking out his personality right now and just how difficult he is, but taking it back to it being a baby, going from 1 to 2 children, in my opinion, is 100 times more difficult than going from 0 to 1.
Absolutely.
I think so because it's like
It's
double
just-
trouble
yeah,
at that point.
it's-
I mean, especially that close in age.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say because we went from from Cadence, and then of course we have Eli, but going from Cadence to Leighton, but Cadence is 10 years older, so she was such
She
a
can
big help. I
sustain.
mean,
She's
just
like a cat.
Just
You
like
just-
on days like during
You
the
leave
summertime.
food and water around and she'll be fine,
Well,
you know?
just like during the summer, Daniel would be gone or he'd be gone at work and she'd be off school and she would help me wash bottles or do
Right.
laundry. You two having kids so close in age, I mean, that must have been hard.
My kids have broken arms when it comes to cleaning. Both of
Just-
them look, they
just
just
limp.
wrap around. Yeah, they're like, I
Yeah,
don't know what to do
somehow
with
they're
that.
strong enough to bring all the toys downstairs, but then when it's like, hey guys, take these upstairs, I can't.
They forget where their room's at and
Yeah,
they
they
forget
can't.
how to even work their arms.
Yeah, all of a sudden
That's
they
funny.
can't. It's
But yeah, I guarantee going from 1 to 2's rough, like especially that close in age.
it was terrible for us.
And
For the record, and I don't want this to sound hateful, but I have to put it out
Oh
there.
boy,
Here he goes.
she's staring at me when she says that, so I don't know what's about to happen.
So every time he
I'm sure-
complains
Oh, here
about
we
the
go.
2
Here, I know where
children,
this is going.
I
Yeah.
remind him,
it
I
takes
want
2
it-
to make a thing
No.
go right.
I was
Thank you.
perfectly content with 1. He wanted 2 so badly.
And
of
so-
course, I gave in, and I would not trade Coop for the world.
Right.
But
He's like
it
a ray of
is-
sunshine.
So, who, Dustin or Cooper?
Cooper.
Oh, Lord. And Dustin has 2 around him, so you just see the 2 of them together. 2 rain
yeah.
clouds, Lord. But definitely when he's like, yeah, this is hard. I'm like, don't forget, you wanted this.
So you wanted the second one, but she was like, say no more. I'm
She
going to
was-
be able to plan it on knowing his birthday. And I know what gender I
Correct. So,
want.
yeah,
That's
so I
correct.
didn't have to. Yeah, I mean,
We're not going to tell that story.
well, yeah, no, obviously I wasn't going to tell that story,
It's family
but
friendly.
yeah, I mean, originally she just wanted 1. I just always thought of, like for them to have somebody to grow up with, and I'm close with my siblings, so I just, it's just a special bond, right?
Yeah, I mean, you hear like Meemaw stories where she's like, I was the only child. And then I know how I was with my sister. And I mean, we all got siblings here. So,
But
I
you
mean,
just never know. Like, my sister and I are close now, but we were not growing up. So
that's true. Me
I
and my
was-
sister fought a lot when we
Yeah,
were
I
younger.
think the really tight bonds become as you're an adult.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Because, I mean, let's be real. At that age, when we're that young, boys rule and girls drool.
Yeah.
So,
Cooties.
but yeah, I mean, I would fight with my sister. I would pick on my sister, but that's what brothers do. And I think,
Yeah, me and my brother fought like we were UFC
I
fighters
think-
growing up. I mean, it was bad.
I think we're meant to do that. Like, I think our bodies are trained to do that because we almost connect, I guess, deeper with our siblings or something. Like, I just feel like we're meant to be rough with our siblings because we're preparing them for later in life. And then listen,
I'm gonna beat you.
and then when you get older, you're like, okay, it's time to fly out the nest.
So
and I'm gonna protect you now.
Chokeholds were meant for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
you're
It
pretty
made you
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
toughened you up. Made you who you are today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
Oh,
welcome.
that
You're
makes
welcome.
me think of you and Jeremy.
Oh, yeah, he kicked me in the back of the head one time. He got into a capoeira, this martial arts thing that he wanted to learn, and
hey, let me show you this trick.
he ordered some DVDs or VHS. I don't know what it was at the time,
Probably
but
some VHS. He probably downloaded it off the
VHS.
internet
he
for
was
free.
learning, he was learning these
Streamed
moves
it.
and tried to do some freaking roundhouse kick thing. He caught me in the back of the head.
On purpose?
I mean, he wasn't trying to connect with me. He just got a little wild with it, trying to demonstrate. the
How
kick
old
to
was
me.
he? Dude, check out this new
He's probably 16, 17
check out
years
this new
old. I don't
ninja
know.
kick I just learned.
I do have to say that it doesn't change and it hasn't stopped.
Oh,
We
no.
still see them and he's like, I'll punch you in the nose. I don't care. And then they'll start going back and forth
yeah,
even when they
yeah.
see each other and they're 38 and 40.
There's nothing like
He's 40. Yeah, 40.
a brother or a sister, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But some people listening are like,
It doesn't change.
my brother's crazy. I don't even talk to him.
Yeah.
But like like one of our messages on our last podcast was, what'd you say about
Don't get
just
better.
connecting with people? Like, you need to call them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll regret it one day if you don't make that effort, make that connection. Your blood, right? Like, you only get one go at this life, so.
Yeah, I feel like if they was gone, then it hits you. You're like, could it ever have gotten better? Because even just, you know, biting the bullet, being the bigger person, it's like,
Yeah, but
Could
the
have it
phone,
gotten
the
better?
phone works both ways, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
but-
true, but pride's a real thing.
Yeah,
So pride is something you have to put away to be able to make relationships work.
I think
and that's
so.
the same thing in marriage. Because I
It's-
can't tell you how many times I'd be like, yeah, I'd punch him right in the throat. And then you take a deep breath and you go hug them. And you're like, it was probably easier to hug him, even though it was very hard at the time.
Right.
I would-
Especially when he's disciplining my dang kids. They're
When
my
I-
kids at that point.
when I was younger, it was hard for me to take feedback, and I think being able to take feedback, you know, you got to swallow that pride. And as I've gotten older, which I'm not old, I'm only 32, but I've understood almost like, I guess it's just better to be the bigger person. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is. It's all in how you address it.
I feel like someone's got to stand up and do the right thing, you know? Like someone's got
You
to be
have
the
teach
bigger
your
person.
children that.
And it's hard.
Well, you
It
feel
is.
better for one, and you don't waste.
It's
as much
easy to
energy.
lash out or
Right.
you know
For
what I
sure.
mean, but for you to just be like, oh, it's okay, and
We're trying to
shrug it
teach a
off.
3-year-old
Yeah, I
that.
mean, that's the perfect thing, right? You got to set the example for
Right.
Correct.
your kids, other people around you. You never know who's watching you and had you as a role model or whatnot. So, be the change, man, right? Be the change you want to see in the world.
Whitney's like the one to lash out quick, and she's like, I'm not taking no crap. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
especially if
Whoa,
like
whoa,
it,
whoa, whoa,
hold
whoa.
on, especially if it involves your husband or your kids. I mean,
That is
you know
true.
what I mean?
Oh, if it comes to my
She's-
husband or my kids, I'm the first person to be like, "Excuse me."
Out of the two of us, you are the first one to say something unless someone cuts me off in traffic.
No, I used to be when we first got together, but
Yeah,
now,
you've calmed down a lot.
Now the roles have reversed. I'm the type of person I'm like, no, it's okay, and you're like, oh no, like
If it's
you're-
drama related, I'm like, it's not worth it.
I'm not drama.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
If it's drama related, I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care. If it's like involving,
If someone cuts us off in traffic, this guy's the first one to say something. Or
Same for Dustin.
I mean, did you not take a test? Do you not have your license?
I mean, one morning he rolled down his window and he's about to throw his coffee out at someone.
Yeah, that was a little overboard.
Well, we did have. We
but
did
I
have the
had my
kids-
cup. I was
No,
like
we
this.
had the kids in the car that morning.
I was this close, and if this was a video podcast,
boy.
y'all would be seeing right now. I had my hand, to paint the picture, I had my hand under my McDonald's coffee cup, and you know that coffee's hot. Yeah, that's some hot coffee.
No, I think it might have been.
It is. It's some
It's
hot.
hot coffee.
Listen, McDonald's coffee is hot, and he cut us off. And this was when Leighton was younger, and I was like, "We got kids in the car, like duh." And it was some beach. We got a little track here called Beach Bend, and it was like Honda Day, so all the little cars
Oh, yeah.
was there.
I can see them too, little matchbox.
Yeah. It's like this little Honda, whoa, pulls up and cuts me off. And
Oh, he lives next door.
But especially when you have kids in the car, it makes you angry.
It does.
yeah,
But we have to set that example, and that is something that we definitely
That's something I
learn
struggle with
every day.
because like we'll be we'll be
He
I'll be
shoots 'em.
I'll be going slow in traffic or something, and then all of a sudden like Sawyer or Cooper will like lean over and they're like, "Come on, what's going on up there? Speed up!" And I'm like, "Oh."
to you or to the car?
To the car up there
to
because
the
they've
cars.
seen me. They're like, "Idiots, nobody can drive." And I'm like, "Yeah, I probably need to scale it back a little bit."
It's funny.
Yeah, I'm just the grandma driver back there. They're like, "Mom, are you even paying attention?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm trying to emulate silence in the car."
I feel like you're more of an easygoing driver than I am, though.
I am an easygoing driver till you cut me
Oh,
off.
that's Grandpa Daniel
Yeah.
over there.
No, me, I'm-
he's
he's
going
a little
20
more-
under
yeah,
the
he's
speed
a little
limit.
more
I have a
conservative, a little more
heavy
reserved.
foot. I'm like pedal to
He's
the
a little more
metal. I
cautious.
don't like
it's
to go
always good to
slow.
have that one guy. You
Yeah,
know,
we
and
saw you the other day when we were in town. Coop picked you out. You were on a bicycle pedaling.
was
Definitely
I was I
not
at
you.
9 and 3
Yes.
on the steering
And
wheel?
Coop's like, "Dad, yell at Daniel. It's Daniel."
You were
And
more
he
at,
was like,
according to him, you were more at 3 and 9 on the handlebars.
Cars,
Here,
yes,
he thought you were
pedaling.
riding a bike.
Oh.
He's like, "That's not him. He has a motorcycle." He's like, "No, it's him. Get him."
He traded his motorcycle in for a pedal bike.
Yeah, he
It
did.
was a Schwinn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You ain't gonna see me on a pedal bike.
Oh gosh.
Not right now. So, so Saul's here. Coop was born at how old was Saul when Coop was born?
She was 3.
So
Well, she turned 3 2 days after we brought him home.
gotcha.
The day we
So-
brought him home, actually.
Let's talk about I don't know what you call it. Would you say like her condition?
She has type 1 diabetes.
What do you say? Like how do I
So
say
it's
that?
a disease.
So a disease. Let's
It
talk about
is.
her disease. How old was she when she got that?
2.5.
So talk about stress.
Ooh, I was pregnant.
Wait, you were pregnant
I was
when y'all found out?
I was like 17, 18 weeks pregnant with Cooper. And I took her to the doctor on my own because I saw the signs and I thought, this cannot be real. But I see it. And
What are the signs of something like that? Especially at that age, and is that even normal?
It's not. Typically, juvenile diabetes, which is not even technically called that anymore, is diagnosed between like adolescence age, more of like your 8 to 14-year-olds. But she had increased thirst, increased urination. She wasn't as hungry, I wouldn't say, but she had aggressive tendencies, like she would cry for no reason. We went from perfectly potty trained at night to brick-like diapers that were heavy in the morning. And I told Dustin my concerns, and he thought, nah, it's going to be okay. But you can take her to get checked out.
Right.
So we took her a couple of times. And the time that I took her, my pediatrician listens to me, which I'm very thankful for. And if you don't have that, I hope you find that. They checked her sugar. I was alone. It read high on the meter, and I immediately panicked. I became a mom, not someone of a child with a disease. And I called Dustin, and Dustin came straight to the doctor's appointment, and we went straight to Vanderbilt Children's.
What are the signs again?
So increased thirst, increased urination, and increased appetite.
Did you know, like when,
I
just
could-
knowing what you know now, did you know or did you just have an idea like, oh, it might be this, but there's no way because it's not common?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough seeing your child go through that.
Or no, how did she, how did she handle, like whenever she found out, did she,
Oh, I didn't handle it.
no, what did I say? It was,
I mean, it was a complete shock because at 2.5, you wouldn't think that would be like a real thing for your child to have. Like,
no, it was the signs. So you had an idea what the signs might be.
correct.
And did she think, like, did she know it was diabetes or did she just have like a, maybe knowing what I know, it could be that? Like, how did you see it from her side?
So really, I think the day before we took her to the doctor and found out Sawyer was acting different than normal, and Jamie threw it out there. She's like, hey, she's got these signs. Like, these are the signs of diabetes, right? And I'm like, she's 2. There's no way she's got diabetes. It's what 2-year-olds do. All right, she's drinking more. She's peeing in the bed. Like, It's what kids do. There's
Right.
no way it's diabetes. It never would have been on my
Yeah, it's
radar
common,
ever.
especially at 2 years old.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of brushed it off, but then she got a little bit sicker that night, and that's when we took her in the next day, and it's like kind of punch you in the mouth. It's like, oh crap, it really is. But then you look back on stuff that happened like weeks before. Like we went to Opryland Hotel to look at the Christmas lights, and at that time, Sawyer was potty trained, and we're not. For those that don't know, that's about 45 minutes to an hour from where we live. We're like 20 minutes into the car ride. Sawyer's like, I gotta pee. And we're almost yelling at her because, like, you just peed before you left the house. You're potty trained. Like, you're going to have to hold it, right?
Right.
But then fast forward a week or two and you realize it was a medical condition that was causing that. Then you just kind of like, wow, you kind of feel bad about yourself.
Bad.
But
Yeah, it's definitely, it changed our lives for sure. And being pregnant with hormones and trying to manage a child that when you're taught as a nurse, the number one thing that I remember of diabetes being taught about diabetes and learning about it fully was insulin is one of those drugs you can give and kill someone. And it's a double check, and you have to have another nurse double check it to give it. And here, take this home and give it to your 2.5-year-old, and you have no idea what's going on. And we had to wake up every night at 2 a.m. and check blood sugars, and she would cry and ask us to stop hurting her, and why do we have to give her shots? And Mommy and Daddy, please stop hurting me, and why do you keep doing this? And you're doing the best you can to keep your child alive. And truly, the night before her diagnosis, I have a picture of it, and I very rarely reference it because she had climbed up in my lap and fallen asleep, and I thought, well, this is the sweetest thing. And now looking back, I'm like, crap, my baby was dying in my lap. Like, literally, her body was dying. Because without insulin, we can't live. It is a natural hormone that we have to have. And
Is that something your body makes? Or?
It is. Your pancreas makes it. So hers is autoimmune. So it's very different than type 2 for anybody who's listening, not to be confused. I'm pretty passionate about it now, knowing, having a child with it, knowing all the things about it. And I learn something new about it every day. We both do. What works today might not work tomorrow. And it becomes very frustrating in a monotonous role of, hey, get up, dose. Did she eat? Why is she rising? There's lots of things, but we manage it well, I think, together.
So how long has since she's been diagnosed?
5 years almost.
yeah, we're well past the point of
We worry.
she's had it.
Right.
She's had it longer in her life than she didn't have it.
Correct.
Right?
She knows
So-
no different. And she's very well aware of it.
So does it stress you out as much currently than it did in the past, or
Absolutely not.
Yeah. no.
are y'all like,
We're pretty chill.
it's just another day now?
It's just another
another
day.
day.
So when in this whole journey did y'all start to feel like, okay, it's starting to get easier?
Oh, crap. I have days of where it's easy and days where I get,
Well, I guess not really gets easy because, I mean, like you said, it's
But-
always something different. But till you were like, okay, we got this, you don't feel as bad, or you don't,
I would say about a year in.
Well, a lot of it was once we got
A
her on,
pump.
we got her on an insulin pump.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Got her on the continuous glucose.
So you were having to
monitor.
give her shots at first.
That's tough.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots a day.
Yeah, for a 2-year-old.
So
Yeah.
at that
I'm
point,
32 and don't like shots.
Yeah,
Well, and what kid do you know that just like, I want to eat this, but that's all?
Yeah, none.
They're like, oh, I
They're-
want extra, and can I get extra of that? And then you would have to like
And
limit.
then I'm not going to eat this. Now I'm going to eat this. I did want these chips, but now I want this cracker. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely tough.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, we're rocking it out now. And it's funny now to see people who are taking care of her for the first time
Be
or
terrified.
be around this. Yeah, they're terrified. And we're like, I have nothing to be scared of.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
it'd
for
be
sure.
fine. But we were completely terrified of it when it first happened. So
Were y'all very like scared to have someone else watch her, or?
I still struggle with that. Now him not so much. He's like, I
Well,
can manage it from my phone, tell them what they need to know.
I feel like she's somewhat deprived due to her disease, and the fact that there's only a couple of people that we let watch her that we trust to take care of her diabetes.
That's a
so
tough word.
Like if she just had a couple of, let's say she had a friend from school invite her over to stay the night, slumber party or something, she's not going. at this point because we don't know that parent. We don't know that they can take care of her. We're not going to trust them to take care of her.
And it's 2023.
But on the real.
Back in the day, it was easy to go spend the night at people's
Correct.
houses.
Now I don't trust many people.
Yeah,
so
but-
it wouldn't make any difference.
Well, but take that out. Take that out of the equation.
Right.
We're just talking medical here, right?
Okay, so we're
Like
not
there's
gonna
just
trust.
yeah, we're not talking about all that other junk. I'm just talking.
But
about
I don't know that
medical.
it would change. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be fine.
Of course.
That's me.
It'd
man.
be
I'm
fine
I'm
for-
super passive. I'm
Yeah.
casual about my
And I'm
stuff.
not. I plan for the worst.
Right.
He's.
I think that's all
we'll deal
moms.
with, right,
Everything's
and
worst
he'll
case scenario. Yeah.
correct, and he'll deal with it when he gets here. And I want to shield that for my children. I don't want them to know the worst until they're old enough to deal with that. Like they're babies.
I tell my kids, if you don't be freaking out till you see me freak out.
That's
It
what
takes
I
a
was
lot
gonna
for
say.
me to freak out.
But okay, let's not say slumber parties, and they're just going to somebody's house for a 4-hour
Right.
birthday party / cookout. I can't just drop her off for 4 hours at somebody random's house.
Yeah,
they
because
don't know how to manage her diabetes.
right.
So
Can you do that like from and or are they even working on this? Like, is there ever going to be a time in technology where she's at, let's say, Darren's house? Can you Uncle Darren or something? Let's say
Lord.
she's over there visiting Darren
oh, Uncle Darren.
and his wife Margaret.
They
I don't know why those
suspicious.
names are just so funny. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Darren and Margaret.
Yeah, they're suspicious.
And could you okay, because I know you get notifications on her sugar and stuff. Can you dose her from? Do you ever think that technology is ever
Yes.
going to happen?
Yeah,
It will.
It will for
eventually.
Sure.
It's
You'll
not there
probably
yet.
have to have some sort of a passcode on it, or there'll be
Well,
some safeguards.
Because what she has like a cell phone,
She does.
but what's that other thing?
It's called a personal diabetes manager. It's a PDM, and it basically doses all of her insulin. And Insulet,
But that sends the medicine.
yes,
Okay.
and Insulet Omnipod is what she wears, and she has the Omnipod 5, and they are working on an app for iPhone. It hasn't come out yet, but it will in the fall, to where you can have an app on your phone to dose from your phone.
Wow.
So that she won't have to carry two devices. It's out for Android, but we're Apple people, so we haven't transitioned her to a different device. We'll just wait. We've done it this long, so
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have anything out like that right now. Or, I mean, I guess for it to be released and stuff. I mean, I just know we got buttons in the world where you can push a button here in Bowling Green and shoot off a missile in California. You know what I mean? We got that, but you're telling me we don't have stuff here yet to you got to be so close with that machine to dose her.
right. You got to be within
crazy.
20 feet.
Well, but I think a lot of it too is just how dangerous insulin can be. Like you got
Absolutely.
to be super careful. I don't want
Too much
I don't
going
want
in.
Cooper to get a hold of my phone, right, and be able to get in this app and somehow
Oh, yeah.
trigger giving Sawyer insulin. You know, so there's got to be some safeguards to it.
What happens if you get too much?
It will tank your blood sugar.
It can be dangerous.
Yeah, it can lead to death.
Absolutely. But you would use we've learned, we use a fast-acting carb such as juice, and juice is always faster than insulin. So
As far as to giving her sugar.
correct, to bring
Why?
her blood
Why is
sugars
that
back
quicker?
up. It's just the way that our body is designed, and not to get too scientific, but insulin is absorbed first in the cheeks, and then it is absorbed in the small intestine. We don't have to do anything to really digest it. It just goes straight through that stomach. It doesn't have to, it's liquid. So it's quick absorption. Where insulin is given what's called sub-Q, which is right underneath in that fatty layer of your tissues. And so
Yeah,
it
because the
takes
needle's
time.
not very big.
No, she has a catheter. It's a catheter basically that goes underneath the skin. No needle, nothing sharp. I kind of think about it being close to like an IV if someone can, think like that. They're both catheters, but being absorbed in the sub-Q tissue takes about 15 minutes for onset of action. So if you can beat it, which most often you can beat it, there is a life-saving medication called glucagon that we could give her in case.
What's that? Like a
It'll raise the blood
Chewable or-
sugars. No,
It's
it's
an
an
injection
injection,
as
kind
well.
of like
Oh, gotcha.
an EpiPen
Gotcha.
for diabetes. Yeah. We've learned a lot.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, how many years has she had that?
5.
And as far as stress and anxiety, what stresses you out the most with it?
Definitely somebody who doesn't understand it, managing her and not finding it as acute like in nature. Like it needs to be fast to treat a low. And so when they don't realize that or they don't understand insulin, I'm definitely an educator in that and I'll help them. But that's really it.
Is Saul learning like more about it now that she's getting older?
She does, and she can tell you when she needs a snack. She listens for the cues from her phone, and
can she feel it? You think?
Oh, yes, but
but most of the time, by the time she feels it and knows what's going on,
it's one of those.
She's
too
quick.
late.
Yeah, she's quick to get confused.
Gotcha.
We don't let that happen very often.
How many times has that happened?
Ooh.
Where she's like tanked.
A handful
Yeah.
of times where she's gotten to the point where she's, and we've honestly mistaken it before for her throwing a tantrum
Bad
and then
behavior.
spank her because she's not listening and she's acting out.
We're
and then,
being real.
And then all of a sudden, we check her phone. It's like, oh, her sugar's like 40. Like, this is a blood sugar issue. This isn't her just being. So then
And it's
we
kind of out of
rushed it.
character.
Yeah,
for
then
sure.
we rushed to get her juice and such. But
That's crazy.
but maybe a handful of times. One time that I can recall that I was even a little nervous.
Where
She got to that point where she was barely speaking, almost eyes rolling back a little bit.
You were
man,
holding
that
her
would be
out here.
scary.
Yeah, I was a little nervous that time, and I don't get nervous.
Mm-hmm. And I came in for the swoop, but he was like, "I've got this."
What do you
Like-
mean the swoop?
Like I was like,
She
let
knew,
me.
like, she was gonna
yeah, I
try-
was
Oh.
like, let
she
me
was
take
gonna
care
try
of
to
her.
take
Let me
over.
figure this out. I've done
Were
this
you
before.
here?
Yes, he was holding her out here, and he was holding her like a baby in his arms, and her head was just kind of like laying back, and her arms were kind of just laying, like it was
Man.
almost like she
It
didn't
was,
have
we were right on the
verge
border.
of glucagon.
Yeah, right on the border there of it being the worst.
So
So we prevent lows now. We're smarter.
yeah.
I set alarms higher; they drive him crazy.
So when her sugar gets too high,
When it
No,
gets,
gets too
oh,
low,
when it gets
you
too
can-
low,
you
you
can-
can set it.
yeah, you can set an alarm for each.
and I do.
Yeah, she watches it a little closer than I do. But
But that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's partially because I know that forever I'm not going to be able to manage it. And so for as long as I can keep her within the range to keep her body healthy, I will do so as long as she allows. So once she gets into adolescence and she wants to be like the rest of her friends, I know my control will diminish because she won't tell me everything she's eating. She won't do the things that, and maybe she will, but I remember being an adolescent and we're slightly sneaky. So
Right.
I just, as long as
Has
I
she-
can keep her.
Have you ever like been looking and like, oh, I know she's ate something.
Oh, we do it all the
oh
time.
yeah, absolutely.
And you're like, did you eat this? She's like, no.
Yeah, you can tell 100%.
And most of the time she's honest.
Yeah.
She'll be like, yeah, I had blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, just tell me. You can eat whatever. See, that's the difference between type 1 and 2. And a lot of people like to shame type 1s. You shouldn't eat sugar. Or this is what caused your condition. It's not. It's the body has attacked itself and has created this condition as an autoimmune disorder, just like you can't change rheumatoid arthritis or systemic lupus. That's just part of your makeup.
I'm going to be real with you.
Dude,
I'm
his
getting-
eyes.
I'm getting
the
wild.
look in his eyes. Yeah.
But
I was like, lupus? What?
they're all autoimmune. So
No, so I know what the first one was, but what is lupus?
lupus is another autoimmune.
Is that where you don't heal or something?
No, it's inflammation in the joints. It's rashes on the face. It's
Oh.
basically inflammation in your body that you can't. Your body overcompensates.
Gotcha.
So basically, it's autoimmune. So your body just is overreactive. So with that being said, like eating sugar doesn't cause her disease, right? And
Right,
everybody
right.
has insulin. It's just how the mechanism of action of getting the insulin, whether or not it comes from a pump, a shot, or your pancreas, we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
She just gets hers differently. So I don't shame for food. I don't limit food. Figure it out. I figure out how to be a pancreas
So you let her
daily.
You let her. If she's hungry, she's hungry.
She's
It doesn't
hungry.
matter what you eat. We'll just adjust for
I
it.
don't care.
I think that's the right thing to do because it lets her be a kid.
Yeah. Because who
You know?
wants to go to a birthday party and not eat cake?
Yeah, that's not right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, which I think that helped a lot with getting the pump. Like we really limited her sugar / carb intake
With
when we were
shots.
having
Because
to do
you
with
would have
shots,
to give her
because-
multiple shots.
Yeah, we
I
didn't want to
mean-
give her that many shots. But once you got the pump, we're like full send, man. Whatever you want, you can have it.
We'll figure it
We'll
out.
we'll give you
Just
some
let you
input.
know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know.
I think she'll appreciate that in the long run, especially if she ever has a baby with diabetes. Is that rare? I mean,
It's not really genetic. There is a genetic component for the autoimmune trait, but it's more like hers was an illness that that happened about 6 months prior that pushed her into an autoimmunity in type 1.
Really?
And we don't have type 1 in our family. We don't have anybody on either side that have ever had it.
That's wild.
So it's like a fluke, but here it is.
So if we have any listeners that are dealing with that, whether it's themselves or their kids or someone in their family that they're really close to and that they're having to deal with it, what is something that you could push to those people? Like, what is something you suggest or some motivation to get them through those tough times or helping them understand it more? What could they do? You know what I mean?
Knowledge is power. And a lot of times I like to think knowledge is not power and ignorance is bliss. However, in this disease, it is not. And it does get better. Mm-hmm. So you'll go through that, very first stages of where it's very stressful, and then you'll figure it out. And it'll be second nature to you, and you'll thrive.
Yeah.
You just have to learn.
Here's the thing, right? Like, we're both been in healthcare for many,
That's
many,
what I
many
was going to
years.
say. So for y'all, it's a little different.
But it was still kind of a punch in the mouth because we've both been in healthcare for years, but
That's
this
something you don't
disease
deal
is still
with.
something totally different that we don't
Correct.
deal with all the time. So imagining a family who has no medical background whatsoever
Oh, yeah.
having a child diagnosed, and all of a sudden you're having to do injections and this, just the complexity to it and just the overwhelming feeling that I'm sure that they have. I mean, it's astronomical, man.
So what do you suggest that, like, with you being her partner, you being her husband, her dealing with that, what do you suggest people do? Or what could you do different?
Here's what I suggest. Reach out to this woman. If we could put her email or something in, like,
She
the
knows
link
it.
somehow.
I do.
We could do
Like,
that.
yeah, she's
Questions? Do you mind doing
Here's
that?
the thing. It's
I don't know.
once we got diagnosed, we found this really cool network of people, and we've reached out to people and we've met people at random places that realize that they're type 1 and this and that. All of a sudden, they start kind of popping up out of the woodwork, almost like they were meant to be there for us to meet them. And Jamie's bounced thousands of questions off people. People then in return bounced a bunch of questions.
It's almost
off
like
her.
a
And it's almost
community.
yeah, it really
You
is.
have to have that, because having a child with any abnormality, I should say, like, we expect our kids are going to be born and they're going to be healthy until they're older than us, and or they're 65 and they're not healthy, for
Right.
instance. But once you have a child that's 2.5 and now has a disability or a disease process that's there, it is what it is, but you just don't plan for that kind of stuff. So you almost have to have that community to know you're not alone.
Do you think they have, like, Facebook posts or, like, Facebook groups for
There's
that?
absolutely groups for that. There's a great podcast about it. And that's where I learned probably 90% of my information.
Yeah. What's the podcast?
Juicebox Podcast.
Juicebox Podcast.
He's the best.
Yeah, she's learned a ton from that guy.
I listen
Interesting.
to him a lot, and he breaks down insulin and how it works, and nutrition, and how we absorb carbs versus proteins and fats, and why you see different blood sugars at different times. Like, it's so informational. He saved my life and my baby's life multiple times just being able to get his knowledge. And if anyone has questions, like, that's the best podcast.
What is it?
Juicebox
Yeah, I mean,
Podcast.
Juicebox Podcast. We'll link that. We'll share his podcast, and we'll put your email if you're cool with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So if y'all got questions for type 1 diabetes, we'll have an email and the link for you guys. Yeah.
On a lighter note,
On a lighter
Yeah.
note, so now Cooper's here, and y'all been married 8.5 years.
Loud.
What has held this together? Because it seems like it's.
love.
It's because I'm
baby.
amazing.
Love.
I feel like it's it's just wild,
Okay,
and there's something
work.
going on. You're in school, he's working, not only at the fire department, that's one story, but working at the medical
He's working at
at the hospital doing, radiology and stuff. I can only imagine.
So if you're out there listening and you think you can't do something, just listen. You can do it. I go to school. I work 2 jobs. He works 2 jobs. He works 24-hour shifts. We have 2 children. We have a great support system.
That helps for sure.
Yeah, you can't do
What
it
is
alone.
what is your support system?
Well, my mom and Rob help us tremendously. That's who has our kids right now. I trust them. I could literally turn my phone off and know Sawyer is unequivocally taken care of. Like, I don't have to worry about a blood sugar he's on it.
Yeah.
I can go to sleep and not worry. But
Then just having friends and family.
friends
right
and
down the
family
road,
for
right?
sure.
But
My sister helps tremendously. You guys help sometimes when you're home or any of that kind of stuff. But definitely our marriage is work.
It's
every
work.
day.
Communication. Communication is key.
Yeah.
Did you always have that, or is that something that you just kind of
No,
learned?
we've learned.
Yeah, I mean, I would just let stuff fester and fester, and I would get so angry that it would
At
fester.
yourself, like
Like she would be doing stuff that
oh, gotcha.
anger me.
He
Yeah,
loves
instead of
when
bringing it up right then, you would
Instead
hold
of
it in.
me- yeah, and then
Absolutely.
she would be able to tell because then I have a different demeanor in the house, and maybe I'm slamming stuff or just putting dishes in the dishwasher harder, like
Right.
just stuff like that, and you'll save yourself a lot of headache if you can just have that conversation of, hey, it really bothers me that you don't put the toilet paper.
Oh, here
you don't
he goes.
replace the toilet
Here
paper.
He goes.
So who doesn't replace the toilet paper?
She doesn't. She just sets a new one on top of the old one.
It doesn't bother me.
Barbaric.
with the,
barbaric.
With the paper route, what is that? The stuff right there?
Barbaric, he says.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Okay, middle of the night, you get up to go to the bathroom. Are you replacing a toilet paper roll?
So
No.
let me ask you this: every single time you've had to replace it's been in the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Yes.
Get out.
The moons and the stars just line up perfect.
They do.
That's so funny.
I will say that today I went into the bathroom after you. I just have to put this out there for the listeners. And
What are you about to say?
Yeah, what was
Okay,
left?
and-
What was left in the toilet?
okay, no, he leaves one square on the toilet paper roll.
No one should
I
need
don't
more than
remember
that,
I
right?
don't remember that.
Of course he doesn't.
I really don't.
What ply y'all use?
Oh, we got you on the good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Don't
thank God.
Yeah.
You can't
I'm
get
not
that
responsible
one.
for our groceries. Whitney does that, and
I was like, why they got the Dollar
I just-
General toilet paper up
Yeah.
in here?
If you're gonna spend extra money on something,
It's toilet paper.
it's got to be toilet paper.
Yeah.
yeah, us we like to buy like the Tide Pods instead of the good toilet paper.
But
The Tide Pods.
how do you use that to clean yourself?
No, I'm saying we want to wash with the Tide Pods, not that powder. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Dead.
I'm like, how does?
I'm not wiping with a Tide Pod. I mean, I know they clean clothes, but geez.
I do have to be honest. Dustin and I would like come home and I'd be like, they got that one ply? Like, it's real weird.
Yeah, you got to use like a
And Dustin's
quarter
like,
of the roll.
I can't go to the
Yeah,
bathroom
I'm like,
over
hey,
there.
I'm just
like,
gonna go to the house.
Yeah,
for a
I'm going to
minute.
go to the
I'll
house.
come back. Or just start bringing my own roll. when I do that.
BYRO. That's so funny. Where was we at? We started talking about
Just
toilet
talking
paper.
about
Just
like
life,
marriage.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's held your communications held your marriage together?
It helps that I'm beautiful and smart.
The mustache for me.
Oh.
Really, I think not
Mine
her, not
or
her
yours?
mustache. I think my mustache really holds it together. No,
I think communication's important, and that's one thing. Oh, I know what it was. We were talking about how you let stuff fester and build up. Whitney's the same way with me. And, I'm like, if there's a problem, whether it's the way that I shut the door or, like, don't sit on it and bring it up, like, 2 weeks later.
yeah.
Bring it up right then. That way I can fix it. And that way I would rather you, say something to me 15 times out of the week versus one day out of the
One huge
month.
blow up. Yeah.
I do have to say this though, for women, it is difficult because we definitely internalize a lot of things. And so I have to process. That drives him crazy. So like, I won't say something immediately. I might say it an hour later, but I got to really think about it because I don't want to just almost like just throw up words to him that I cannot take back. I think about how my delivery will be, what it sounds like, those kind of things. So I definitely think when you are communicating with your partner or spouse or whoever, you should really think about how that delivery comes across and you don't need to attack. You just need to say, hey, I wish you would do this differently. It would make me happier if this were like this, or we can work on this together. Your partnership. It's not one-sided.
Yeah, let me sneak one thing in here. I know we're running low on time, but let me sneak
No,
this in
we're
here as
good.
well.
We got time, bro. Nothing but it, baby.
For the women out there, if you need something from your man,
Oh, for real though.
Just say
he's
it.
not doing it.
Bring it up.
Don't get mad if he's not doing it. Just tell him.
I'm the same way.
Don't beat around the bush and hint. Sometimes we just need to directly be told.
Dude, at the end of the day, we're guys.
Yes.
A lot of us
But
are
then-
one track
But
minded.
you know what? But then
She's
we're gonna.
back.
She's back, y'all. She had to step away real quick,
She's
just to FYI.
But then we're gonna feel like we're nagging.
Okay,
like I
so
said, you
have
missed
learned,
this.
Yeah, I've definitely learned in the how many years? What is it? 11 years we've been together. I had to think about years we've been together, not just married. Men are simple. Like when I ask him what he's thinking and he says nothing, he means it.
Yeah.
We don't ever think nothing. My mind never shuts off. And so when I'm like, well, why didn't you do that? Well, I didn't think about it. It's legit. He didn't think about it. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't something that he had planned to do to upset me. And I can just literally say, Dustin, like fold the blanket on the couch. Like I don't have to say those things. This is just an example, but I just have to tell him what I need. And it's way
that's-
more simple.
That's what I tell her, and you didn't hear it before, but I would rather you tell me like 15 times out a week, like if I'm doing something wrong, like, hey, you're stacking the glasses upside down, I want them right side up. I would rather you tell me 15 things out of the week rather than one day out of the month. Just, you're not folding the clothes right. You're not putting the toilet paper on the thing. You're not flushing the toilet. You know what I mean?
It does depend on the time of the month when you want us to tell
But
you that.
I agree.
I have done that before, and you're like, well, I guess I'm just not a good husband then.
I think every husband says that.
Oh, yes, mine definitely does.
Woman.
Yes.
What are we back to the caveman?
And women have said it too.
Woman.
We definitely have. Everybody gets in fights over stupid stuff, right? But that's what you learn.
Which,
and
well, I don't think. I mean, we don't ever fight. We just like to pick at each other. That's our thing. Like he
Ours
likes
is
to-
more like you're right and I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah, we don't ever fight.
we don't
I mean,
fight.
No,
but
I'm
we
saying
definitely have
if
disagreements.
we have a disagreement, I'm always in the wrong. I'm always the one that's
Yeah.
messed up.
99.9% of the time. You're
and
correct.
absolutely
To you, it's 100 though. It may happen 99 of this percent of the time, but to you, it's 100.
Oh, my favorite line is, you may not have perceived it that way, but that's how I perceived it, so that's the way it is.
You ain't never gonna hear me say that because I don't even know what that means.
Here's the apology that I just love. He's like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that
Yeah.
way.
That's perceive.
perceiving.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like you need to say, I'm sorry that I said this and I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings. Like, I'm sorry that I'm in the wrong. Not,
And that's
I'm
one of
sorry
the-
that I'm sorry that you feel that I said it and it was wrong or no.
We as men just have to understand that
Women are always
women
right.
are fragile.
We are.
They're extremely fragile. This woman is fragile, like
Fragile.
fragile.
That's
What did
really
you,
fragile.
He said,
Fragile.
he said something to me and I was taking out the trash and then I started crying.
Yeah, I mean,
It happens.
Tell us about that.
I don't even know what I said.
Oh, I don't know the exact words, but we were doing something and he raised his voice and that really hurt my feelings because I told him, I said, I don't ever raise my voice at you. And then I started crying because I don't ever raise my voice at you. I speak to you like I am now. And when he
Yeah, but you
does-
speak to me like I'm stupid too, though.
No.
Well, sometimes if the shoe fits.
You know.
And I think it hurt my feelings more than anything because I'm like, I don't treat him that way. So why are you?
And honestly, the discussion was probably something dumb like
Blue
blue is in the rainbow.
Yeah,
Blue is a color in
just
the rainbow.
But just the thought of you raising your voice at me, that like it made me feel like I'm a child, and it really hurt my feelings.
Well, and I think when it's your spouse, they're your safe place, right?
Right.
So with them being disrespectful to you, it's a whole different thing. Like if you're at work and a coworker talks and pops off or something, you're like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Right.
But you live, eat, and die I feel like we do,
Right.
to please our spouse,
Right.
And so when they do criticize things that we do, we definitely don't want to do that to our spouse, but we want to fix that, and we don't want to feel less than.
Oh, I remember the conversation. I came in.
Of course you do.
Jokingly, I said, "Oh, you didn't pick up your clothes again. You left them in the bathroom floor, and then you just let me have
Yeah.
it."
Oh yeah, what did I say? Since you remember what
Instead-
happened, what did I say?
I don't remember what you said. but
Exactly.
You said, "Well, I haven't had a chance, and I'll pick them up when I get to it." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
I know for a fact I didn't say that.
Beating around the bush, right? Just say, hey man, pick up your clothes, right?
But seriously,
Hey,
You make
hey
it
man,
sound
pick up
so
your clothes.
easy. Why don't you should write
Hey,
a
man.
book?
Hey, man.
You should write a book.
It'd be a short book.
it would be. But hey, one chapter. That's all you need.
Yeah. Just
That's about all I would never read. It's a one chapter book.
How you spell that? I don't know.
Yeah. So communications really held y'all's marriage together.
Absolutely. We also take trips alone together. So if
Oh, yeah, I
any
think-
couples are listening to this, you have to leave those kids behind. It's tough,
I'm cool with that.
but
Of course you are. You're the dad.
But
when
women-
you're the mom, it's hard to be away from your kids.
it is. But
It's
it's
stressful.
But it's rewarding. I will say, like,
What's rewarding? Being around your kids?
No.
Oh,
going
taking
on
a
a trip
trip.
together.
Yeah.
We do stuff where we're kids again. Like, we go to Universal Studios and pretend we're 14, 15 years old getting
Heck
on
yeah,
rides, buying all the food, and, you know,
the first time we went, we did go
Oh,
back
I
to
knew
the
he was
room
gonna
every day, midday, to take
Take
a
a
nap,
nap.
though. So that's
it's uninterrupted. You do
that
what
was
you
kinda
want.
nice, but
Like, you ready for a nap? Yeah.
yeah, girl.
But
you
see,
talk dirty.
He
to me.
says, yeah, but on vacation, he will not take a nap. He's like, you could nap at home. You can sleep in at home. Seize the day. We're in Cancun, you know.
That is me.
No, I got to take a nap.
I'm trying to go put my feet in the sand.
She's a napper.
I'm a napper.
If you got to pee, you're standing in the ocean.
But
Speaking of the ocean, you didn't even get in the ocean when we were in Cancun.
You exactly right. I did not see the bottom. I ain't getting in that water.
Oh, my gosh.
You know how many shark attacks happen in the Cancun?
oh, my
I'm with
Lord.
him on that. Yeah, I don't like to
He
get-
wouldn't even sit in the water like to where it just barely covers your bottom.
No, then the sand
Gets
No.
all
I
up
don't know
in
if
you.
But then there's my husband.
And then you got
that
the underwear and the shorts, and it just,
Yeah.
it's like
you get in the
sandpaper.
pool, and he's like, they got a pool bar, and those people not moved, and they've peed in this pool 50
Oh, absolutely.
times. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
what?
definitely.
Yeah, if there's a swim up
They're
bar and the
peeing
same
in the
people have been there
pool?
for
He's like,
4 hours,
absolutely.
there's a swim up bar. There's
Yeah, they're.
the same.
Be real though.
Same
Be
people
real.
are sitting there for 4
so
hours.
majority
of
of
course they're peeing.
people pee in the pool or pee in the ocean.
They
Hey, let's
do.
I do.
Are we taking a poll?
But
Yeah, I
but I remember when we all went on vacation to Florida that one year. I don't know if your mom was telling me or your sister, or maybe it was Jamie telling me to go in the ocean, and I don't know what it is, but I cannot do it. I have to be.
Oh,
in
it
a
was me
bathroom
for
stall.
sure.
I have to be in a
No.
stall,
I'm like, well, that's
and I had to
crazy.
run all the way back to the hotel to
No,
go to the bathroom.
you just got to sit at the edge of the sand.
I couldn't
Just
do
sit
it.
there and just.
No, you told me
Pretend
you
nobody-
said what were you saying?
I'm
Float
like-
in the water.
Yeah,
You're
I was like, you just got to sit there for just a
and I
second.
did, and I'm like, there's no one come around me.
Listen,
And
we
I'm
were.
sitting there trying to focus, and I couldn't.
The kids were playing. This was like last weekend. The kids were playing with these water balloons out back. The ones where you stick up to the hose, and they like. I wish they had those when I was a kid.
Oh, they're bomb.
Oh man, but Eli's soaked. He's like, I gotta pee, and I'm like, just stand there and pee. You're in your. His eyes got real big. Like he was like, huh? Is it okay for me to pee on myself? It
Oh,
was
and Coop would be
hysterical.
like, let's go.
Yeah. I don't even think Eli did. I think he held it till he came inside or whatever.
Our neighbor, Coop, was out by the road, and we live in a neighborhood that's cookie cutter houses, really. They're close together. And Coop has got his thing out, just peeing everywhere, and my neighbor's laughing.
Tell him about the soccer game.
Oh yeah, so we were at a soccer game, and some random guy walks up behind us to a lady sitting beside us, and he's like, "Ma'am, is this your son back here down by the hill peeing where all these cars are passing through? Got his britches down by his ankles."
He said,
Just-
"No, with not a care in the world."
Yeah, letting
She's
it
like,
out
"Yeah,
in the
that's fine."
wind. And
Yeah.
she goes, "Oh my gosh, thank you for telling me so much." And she had to go and grab him.
I would have just turned around and been like, no,
Yeah.
he's not mine.
And he said he's standing there with not a care in the world. as
And they
cars are
don't.
passing.
They don't.
Well, let's talk about this. Something that me and Dustin have in common. We're pretty laid back,
Annoying.
pretty laid back, and both of you have something in common,
Anxiety.
which is anxiety. Yeah, and I just want to speak on that, maybe to help me and Dustin ourselves, and to give you ladies just some time to let it out because we're here to listen.
Oh, boy.
So, what is anxiety?
It's terrible. Everybody has it. People just don't know that they manifest it. And triggers are different for everybody.
Dustin has it, Daniel has it, and they may not even know it. I know you have it.
I know I got a little bit
What you talking about?
You do.
What you talking?
You don't have it?
What y'all talking about?
anxiety.
Yeah, you do.
A little bit.
So
Let's. What is the definition of anxiety? Let's Google it. Someone pull up the
I'm gonna
Google.
have to.
I'm on the Google. Right?
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
I'll tell you what word is in anxiety is anxious.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
So,
That's good.
am I right?
Well, I mean,
Not
I can't spell it, but I know it's in there.
HCI. Yeah, I mean, it's
Not
not.
IOU.
Definitely,
It's
it's
not anxiety.
so the definition is a
Or
feeling
OUS.
of worry or nervousness or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. I definitely think for myself, and I think Whitney, and I don't know that I'm speaking perfectly for her, but it's the fear of the unknown. So, like when you relinquish that control to someone else or to something else, whether that be God or whatever spiritual person that you have, and you're not in control anymore, that creates that sense of anxiety. So like when you think something's going to go a certain way, Dustin's is time management. When his time gets like closer that he has to be somewhere on time and he's not going to make it because the kids are making him late, his can be either stress or anxiety. But definitely we both have it. He can get off the rat wheel, me not so much.
As far as like kind of dropping it.
Correct. He can drop it. It's done. It's over. He's over it. Me, I'm like,
I get over it pretty
but
quick.
What if?
Well, just like the not being in control thing, like that's what I feel like you don't understand sometimes. Like even something simple like vacuuming. He's like, no, I'll vacuum. I'm like, no, I want to do it. You know, it's
That control.
But then you do too much around the house, you know?
Right. It's a lose-lose.
I'm trying to take something off your
yeah,
plate.
but it's like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. And then it's like,
and that's where it's hard for me and
some
probably
small
Dustin
things
to understand.
like you may not understand. Like if I'm not in control and I seem to be aggravated, it's because it's not, you know, I'm not in control of it. That's my worst fear. Like that's why I don't like taking pain medicine, anything, because that's my worst fear is not being in control of myself mentally.
Right. To be able to care for our kids for
Yeah.
sure. Before kids, yeah, you were anxious about things, but they were minute.
What's your triggers?
Oh, health concerns.
Medical. Completely.
Although I'm very educated, but
Yeah.
I'm not objective when it comes to people that I love. If you were just a patient that came in, I'd be like, sure, I can diagnose you. Me, I'm like, no, you might have the worst possible condition ever.
What'd you think you had today?
Oh, I thought I had cancer. It's fine.
She's being serious.
I know. Like I walked in and she was like,
He said, okay, I think I'm going to go to the gym now.
yeah, I was like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
On that note, why? Because,
I just know too much.
yeah,
And I always think I'm going to miss something because with Sawyer, what's the least possible diagnosis? Diabetes. And it was the diagnosis. So for me, I don't want to miss something and I don't want to put my kids in jeopardy because I didn't think fully through it. And I love you. I'm going to say
Here
that.
we go. Oh boy.
But
That's never good. That's never a good lead in.
But when you have a partner that has zero anxiety and pretty much dismisses all of your anxious feelings and thinks that they're irrelevant at times, like, hey, well, let's think through this like for 2 seconds. Do you have any other signs and symptoms? No. Okay. It ain't that. And it's very
how many
quick.
times have you done that?
That was me today, actually.
Oh.
That's exactly how I described her cancer.
But that's
that she
typical
thought she
for
had.
him.
She said, I have this, X, Y, or whatever it is. And I'm like, do you have any other signs and symptoms of cancer whatsoever? No. Okay. Is
Then
this
it's
even
not
is
that.
this even a big sign of cancer? No, only in certain types. Okay, you're fine.
But you know what? Being with her so many years, you should like. I'm sure you understand her triggers, which you just said medical. But like from our standpoint, like whenever I'm feeling anxious or upset, he may not understand anxiety. He doesn't have anxiety, but he's there to say, "Are you okay? Is there anything I could do for you? Well, what's making you feel this way?" You know, he walks through these steps with me, so even though he's not fully understanding, it does help me, and it calms me down a little bit.
I will say this: it's very frustrating.
It can't. Yeah, for the spouse of the person, let's not discredit what they go through.
Absolutely.
As well, right? I know what the person who has anxiety is going through is tough as well, but the spouse is really getting beat up in it all a little bit as well, and it's hard on us as well.
I'm sure because for one, they don't know how to help.
Yeah.
And two, when you don't have anxiety, there's literally nothing you can do. So I'm sure it's like, man, I feel helpless. This is my spouse and I can't do anything, you know?
I think some of mine is the fact that she is so medically trained and has all that knowledge That's why I'm a little bit shorter at it at times, is because
You're like, duh, you know this.
yeah, you're stuck on this, but it's like,
Right.
no, you're super educated. If you take these blinders,
Right.
anxiety
Right.
crap, you know that that's not what you have, but you can't get this. And she might talk to 3 or 4 medical professionals that she is tight with and trust their opinions, and they will all say it is not this, but it doesn't matter. Like, she's still seeking more people to tell her, even though 4 of the smartest minds she knows have said it's not brain cancer,
she's gonna
whatever it is.
continue to do
Right.
that. She's going to continue to do that until it feels right. Like, you know what? Maybe I don't got it.
Correct.
You know
but
what
that's
I mean?
that's where I get frustrated. It's because 4
like, how many times
4
have we done this?
brilliant people that you trust have just said it's not this, but you still can't come down off that ledge from the so that's where at some point I'm just like, that's where I get really frustrated with it. I'm like,
Right.
what more do you want
Right.
to try to get off? I don't know. I guess
Right.
having never experienced that feeling to that degree.
But when you have anxiety like that, it's literally like you just want someone to talk you through it, even though you may not be giving her the right answers. But it's literally someone to talk to, someone to make you feel better, someone to, well, how are you feeling? Almost like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But especially if your spouse can be there and talk you through it instead of having going to seek a medical profession. I mean, it's different when your spouse is there for you, when they can
I get
talk
that.
you through that.
I get that. I understand that.
And that's grown a little bit. And I will say this, what do you go through? So, like, I know what they go through a little bit because I witness it, but, like, I witness my own thing. So what do you, like, when you say they need to see the other side, like, what is some of those things that you see? Or, like, how do you feel in that situation?
Oh, boy. I mean, it's just the frustration, right, of
I'll tell you what I mean, you tell me what's yours, and I'd like to share
go
mine,
ahead.
too.
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
Well, one, I am the type that, like, I've got to fix it. If there's something wrong with someone I love, like I was telling Jamie earlier, if there's something wrong or you're hurt or anxiety, and especially anxiety, like if you're hurt, I know what to do. Get you some Tylenol or take you to the doctor. You know what I mean? But with anxiety, there's no, like, I can't say, oh, you need a Band-Aid for that. Like, it's not going to work. So it frustrates me. Like, I'm a healer. I'm a fixer. Like, if you're down, I'm going to make you smile. I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? But if it's something that I don't know what to do, that frustrates me to death. And it's and I think it angers me a little bit because I can't fix what my wife's going through or dealing with. And I'm her husband. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to fix this, but there's nothing I can do. And it's frustrating.
On the other side, you see it ruin good times because
Oh, yeah.
we were at Universal Studios, had a great day, phenomenal day, all day long. We get back to the hotel room, and all of a sudden, I don't know if she yawns or does something, and all of a sudden she like touches her face and feels like she feels something in like her jaw. All of a sudden she instantly goes into this panicked anxiety mode, thinking she has jaw cancer, and she's literally in the hotel room crying at this moment, afraid that she has cancer.
Yeah, that would be frustrating.
And it's like, we just had this phenomenal day, and this is what we're at right now. Like, how did we get to this point that now all of a sudden?
Well, we got to this point because I have a child with
No,
it.
I just mean that day.
And I do have PTSD from that, and I have worked through that. So for any of you listeners,
I didn't.
therapy is not a bad thing. But definitely, I get that it is frustrating to you. The thing about anxiety is you can't control it. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know what your trigger is going to be. You don't know what's.
And that's what I don't understand.
But we don't understand it. People who have anxiety, we don't get it. We don't understand, like, we know what we can do to, like, kind of curtail it. And even today when I said something, Dustin's like, I had no idea you've been anxious. And I'm like, yeah, well, after years of having anxiety, I've gotten really good at hiding it.
Yeah.
And so I won't tell you, but now it might manifest into a physical ailment that's bothering me that now then makes my anxiety 40 times worse.
And then you start to show it, and then you blow up.
Correct. And so I don't always come to him about it because he doesn't experience.
I'm not the one.
He's not.
I can admit that I don't give her what she needs in that scenario.
You guys say that.
As far as what, like,
I don't give her the feedback, the comfort that she needs. I'm not the one to talk her off the ledge.
right.
But I can at least admit that that's not me. I still just get frustrated very quickly at the fact that
It can't be you.
well, no, I get frustrated that we can't having never experienced that level of anxiety, I get frustrated that we can't just talk about some simple facts
And then be done and move on.
And like these facts right here are everything about why this is not what you think it is. But we can't look at this
and be
see
objective.
that and
Right.
just be like,
But
oh, okay, you're right.
You guys get frustrated at the fact that you can't fix it, but don't you think that we get frustrated at the fact of, like, let me tell you a story. So one time I was walking in Kmart. Cadence was maybe 1. I had her in a shopping cart. I was with my mom, and then all of a sudden I felt just like this literally feeling of doom come over me, and I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. So I laid down in the middle of the floor in Kmart. My mom's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to just lay here and breathe. I felt like I was going to die for no reason whatsoever.
So you decided to do some snow angels in aisle 6.
And
right.
people were passing by looking at me, but I did not have a care in the world because my thing I was focused on was I want to live. I want to breathe. And did I know why I was having anxiety? No, I did not. So that's pretty frustrating on our end. Like, she may not know why, like, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, my jaw popped. I think I have jaw cancer. You know, I mean, that's stuff that you just can't help.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, I clearly understand that it's something that you can't help because, I mean, seeing her in these situations, nobody would want that, right? Nobody wants to be in that situation. So I know there's just triggers that just happens for no known reason. I've known people who have lived perfectly normal lives for 40 or 50, 60 years, and then all of a sudden something happens and they can't drive on the freeway anymore.
Right.
Just
Right.
this stuff. And who knows what the triggers are. I don't know how it happens.
But
I
it's
don't
good
understand
that
it.
she knows what her triggers are, though, as
Yeah,
far
yeah.
as medical. Like, when it
Yeah,
comes to me, I have no clue what my triggers are. I can just wake up and just have a panic attack, and I don't know why.
I'm really good about saying today I'm anxious. I can't tell you why, but today's not the best
Right.
day, and I've got to kind of figure it out and do whatever I need to do to get through that. I definitely own my anxiety.
So not all your triggers are medical then.
Most often, or my kids.
But sometimes
But
you'll
most
feel
of
like,
them are
I don't know
kids.
why I'm anxious. I don't know why I'm having anxiety.
Sometimes I'll just wake up and I'll be like, my heart's racing, something's weird, something's off. Typically,
Right.
it's a hormonal dip or something, and I'm like, it could be close
Right.
to something, you know, or whatever. But definitely, I feel like
Right.
most of mine are medical.
What about you? What's your triggers?
I don't really know. I feel like mine involves, like, maybe it's like an agoraphobia as far as being around so many people, you know, because, or like tight spaces. Like, I've noticed every time I'm in a car,
I hate being in the closet. You know, like
I was talking
with the
about
doors
car,
Oh,
a car. Because the first time I had a really bad panic attack, it was when I was in a car by myself. So I feel like when I get in a car now,
Yeah. What if you put the window down? Does that help? Feel like
I
you're-
like.
well, she does put the window out and she's like, I got to feel the air.
Yeah.
You've done that sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just being so, like, to where I can't escape. Like, it's driving in a car and I'm like, I can't just get out right now.
Yeah, I get
You know, I can't escape. Or just being around a group of people. Like, if I'm at Walmart, sometimes I'll just drop my cart and leave. I'm like, there's too many people in here. There's too much going on. I got to get out.
I don't mind a lot of people in a room, but if I'm like butt to butt, ankle to ankle, I don't like that.
Or if you're like, I'll put her on blast. Oh, Ashley over here, that lives one street over, a good friend.
Ashley,
of ours.
shout out if
Oh,
you're.
boy.
Ashley, if you're listening.
Yeah, sorry.
Her
Love
thing,
you.
elevators,
oh
man.
boy.
We have seen her
Panic.
wig.
Oh, is that
out,
her?
Yes.
Panicked on elevators before, especially if a decent amount of people get on the elevator. She starts like I have seen her try to tell people, no, you can't
you
get on this
kidding me?
elevator.
Oh.
And then if they get on the elevator, by God, she's getting off the elevator.
Has she been
She'll just take
trapped
the
on an
stairs.
elevator before?
I can't remember.
I wonder what's caused that. Has she ever talked to you about it?
She just says that she's terrified of getting stuck on one, especially with a bunch of people. And then we like pick the most random.
It was a bad situation.
It was a bad situation at a condo, and they
Oh,
had
gotcha.
one working elevator, 45 people trying to pack on, and
So yeah,
she was panicked.
yeah, only one working elevator. So they were cramming in like sardines. If there was one little spot for somebody to get into, somebody would crawl into that elevator as we're going up or down. And oh boy.
She took the stairs.
Most of the time.
She got off a couple times, but she tried to tell people like,
You ain't getting on this
yeah,
ride.
she's like, no, nobody else can fit on here. And like 3 more people would walk on.
What's Griff doing?
It was nothing. Like what he always does.
Come on, get on.
He's just sitting there smirking.
I've been stuck on an elevator before, and it's pretty scary. It's no fun.
I farted on an elevator one time with a lot of people in there.
Oh my God.
Hey, what'd you do on the elevator one time, babe?
Yeah, you
We're not
peed
gonna-
on the elevator.
Oh.
I didn't think we were going to say it.
But no, back to me farting on the elevator. The funny thing about farting on the elevator is
You don't know who did it.
Yeah, you can really be like,
But if there's only 2 people on the elevator,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure
I
I
mean,
know who
Got to
did
pump
it.
those numbers
yeah,
up.
you don't want to fart with 2 people, but 2 or more, you're good. You're covered. It
Yeah.
can,
2 or more, you mean 3 or more?
well, 2 or more would be. Oh yeah,
Not 2, 3 or more.
yeah, 3 or more.
Or
I
when
think
you walk onto an elevator and you're the only one on there, and clearly somebody has just gotten off and farted right, and then you go up one floor and somebody else gets on.
Oh,
And it's like, I swear to God, dude, I swear the smell was here when I got on this elevator.
I would be mad.
I've been
He
in that
has
situation
farted
before.
in an aisle before shopping, and then he'll see someone coming and then run off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to think it's me. And I'm like,
Classic.
this smells like baby poop. Like, it is bad. And I'm
Crop
like,
dusting them
Got him.
in aisle 6.
Your sister is the worst. Oh.
Oh yeah, she be dropping them bombs.
Oh boy. And she don't care. Black Friday shopping, 50 people in an aisle, and she is dropping
Have you ever
it.
taken fiber and farted while you've been taking fiber?
You need seriously. You're a medical professional.
Is it no? Okay, so I take fiber 3 times a day.
Oh God.
The powder.
The powder with my water so I can be normal, and a stool softener. And
Yeah, I don't think you need
so-
both.
And I go on a daily basis, but I fart a lot, and it smells terrible. Like it don't bother me because it's my own fart.
It's that 90. It's that 97 octane.
It's
Light a match and it's
it's
blowing
worse
up.
than
Bad.
like a baby diaper.
Yes, I don't
Like,
think
is
that's
that
normal.
normal?
Well, with fiber makes you gassy. Fiber has
But is it normal for it to smell though?
well, I mean,
Do you just need?
Is it just letting out all those toxins? I mean,
to kill your
Do
husband.
you need 3 scoops? Is the real question.
I like this. Is
I
this
take 1 3 times a day.
fibromyalgia. Isn't that what
five?
it is?
Oh no.
That's one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life.
No,
Are you? Was that a joke? Or are you
no, I'm serious. Is that the brand?
Oh my God.
The brand is Metamucil, and fibromyalgia
Yeah.
is a disease. Okay.
I wish y'all could see him.
Oh my
I'm
God.
about to have to do CPR.
That's what I meant.
You have
Metamucil.
blown-
No,
I've
it's-
been with you for almost 7 years, and I don't think you've ever blown my mind like you have.
This is that's one of the best things I've ever heard. in my
We're
entire
never
life.
gonna forget it.
Dude.
You're gonna be like, man, remember that
my
time we were talking about
gosh.
fibromyalgia?
Oh, I'm going to be prescribing that.
So what is that?
It's where you have pain that nobody can figure out why all over your body.
Yeah, that's,
But then there is
Oh
there
my
is that
God.
fiber supplement.
that's good.
So
Fibromyalgia.
Metamucil.
Is it?
my God.
Yeah,
It
I
is
think it's called
Metamucil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
We were trying to sleep last night, and then he kept talking. He was like, how can you sleep so comfortably?
I mean, when
it
you taste it?
stinks like this?" He's like, I
can't.
So you don't even try to hide your farts around.
Heck no, she don't.
No.
Man, that level of comfort. We still
Try to hide 'em.
every now and
No,
then I'll
Dustin
I'll let him
loves
slip
to-
out. Every,
no.
oh, hey.
No.
So we were sitting in.
He tries to kill my kids with him all the
We
time.
were
I do.
sitting in
I
our
do
chase
that,
together, our chair with the ottoman, and my butt was kind of like partially on his leg.
Yeah, I never would have thought this would happen.
and all of
but
a
it
sudden I
did.
go, "Brrr,"
And I felt every
he looks
ripple.
At me and I'm like, well, I gotta let it out.
I felt
My
every
stomach
single
hurts.
ripple. My
That's intense.
speaking of
I'm
fart,
like, you know what? If he can't listen to me fart, and we've been together almost 7 years, then he's not the one for me.
speaking of fart, my triggers in anxiety
Is farts?
No, it's noises, loud noises.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
You get very overstimulated. I've noticed that.
Oh, if the dogs are barking,
The TV's
The
on.
TV's
the kids
on.
are screaming.
That gets me as well. Yeah.
that is one.
Yeah. Obviously,
So-
I feel like I don't have anxiety.
doesn't.
But looking,
What makes you? Because I was there. So what makes you think you don't have anxiety?
well, I feel like I'm just Mr. Cool as a cucumber all the time. But
Not what I saw today
what are you
Thank
talking?
you.
What did you
on the
see
way
today?
to dance.
I was frustrated. Kids don't listen. You're on
Yeah.
a time crunch. Nobody
I feel like
else in the
time
house
gives
is
you anxiety.
helping you with the situation at
Who
the
helping
moment.
you?
Nobody at the time.
What?
I'm just saying.
He's gonna be in trouble.
Oh, you're over here saying, keep talking.
Do you have a spare bedroom at your house?
Time. Yeah, I like to be
That
on.
dog bed
I
will
like
be
to be
fine.
on time.
Yeah.
I like to be early.
Dude, I'm the same way.
Nobody else in my house cares anything about
Which
that whatsoever.
that can be an anxiety, though.
and that
Yeah.
bothers me.
It's a trigger.
lot.
Oh, it's my favorite because you'll be getting ready in the morning. He's like, babe, 7:40. Babe, it's 7:41 in 3 seconds.
Let me ask you this.
I'm like, I got to watch.
If you could fix that, would you? Like, if you could take that feeling away right then of you being like time bothering you, would you take that away?
Yeah, I mean, do I have to give something in return?
No, you get to keep all your fingers, all your No, you don't have to give anything. You're just saying, like, if you could stop what irks your nerve, let's call it that, or it gets under your skin, could you
Absolutely.
just, if you could stop it, would you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So would
Okay.
I.
So with that being a trigger for you to kind of get hyped up or whatever, loudness, did you ever think about like trying out some kind of medicine to see if it would work?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
I don't feel like I'm at that point where I need, because it's not something that I know what the issue is. It's not something that I feel like I don't understand or that it just comes on like
That he can't control.
that, and something that I
He
can't
can
control.
shut it off.
Yeah, it's as soon as we get to where we're going. Yeah, I'm aggravated that we got there 15 minutes late because nobody in my
gotcha.
house cares that we
But
need
you
to
let
be
it
there on
go.
time. But then it's just gone.
Well, that's
It
how-
doesn't eat at me for a long time.
Yeah, it's done and gone. I'm
Yeah,
the
it's
same
just-
way though. Like, and my mom's the same way. Like, if there's an issue between us, I bring it up right then. We solve it, and that's done and gone. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm the same way. But I was that way before because I'm on anxiety medicine, like a small dosage, but just enough to kind of. I feel like it works. You know,
Take the edge off.
yeah, to just take that edge off, and I still get aggravated in those situations, but it's like it's okay. Like I don't know, it's not.
You can
I'm
deal
not
with it.
as aggravated.
It's almost like a normal aggravation, if you want
Yeah,
to
you're
call
not
it
just
that.
so like. And I was the same way. I was like, dude, I'm fine once it's done. Like once everybody stops talking and screaming.
But
and
it's
the dogs
almost
quit.
like everything would irritate you before.
Yeah.
But now it's like only the normal stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're still gonna get irritated.
Right.
I wish there was a pill that was.
I feel like my irritation only comes from. It's not just random stuff, right? It's I like to be on time,
Right.
and then
He
I
likes
feel
his
like the
kid
only,
to
I
listen.
feel like the only other
first
time I get really irritated is when the kids don't listen, which I think is completely normal stuff across the board. So I don't think I have any triggers that's abnormal necessarily.
No, but you are triggered quick with our children.
Yeah, they don't listen
Correct.
at
But
all.
but he
Coop will like.
But what kids do
I'll get
listen,
on.
in all honesty.
I'll get on the Coop, and he'll like almost like buck his chest up at me, and I'm like, let's go, bro. Like, right, if you think you're big enough,
Right.
he's-
Let's do it.
He's like 4, and I'm like, if you want to
Wait
go,
till he's
let's
like
go.
16 or 17.
I'll split him down then too.
I had to hire Bruce Buffer.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
I'm like, I wish you would.
Yeah.
I wish you would. Let's go.
I remember.
But yeah,
then he has me to answer to.
yeah,
That's my baby.
yeah.
So if you feel like you could stop it, and you never thought about taking a medicine, do you think he should be on something? Like,
Oh boy, this is on the spot here. Let's hear what you got to say.
No, I just wish that he was more aware of it and he realized what it was. So then
Yeah.
he could then figure out, like, oh, this is the way I feel at this time. So maybe that's the way she feels. But then it gets out of control because she doesn't have that sounding board, which is difficult because I'll drive him crazy by calling my mom's boyfriend, Rob, and I'll be like, I just need to talk to you. He's like, it's got no medical knowledge, Jamie. And I'm like, I know, but he can calm me. He's soothing. He listens. He talks me through the situations where you're very just short. You put me off. And there are things that I have learned in our marriage. There are things that I cannot talk to him about. And
Yeah.
he knows that, which is not probably the
do
healthiest.
you think you would have done that when y'all first met, or do you think you'd be more soothing when you first met?
Oh, more soothing. It's way more honeymoon, right?
Right,
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, but here's the thing, I think, as well. This is somewhat new to our relationship still. I mean, it's been going on for
5 years.
yeah, I mean, that's, you know,
It's new.
in the grand scheme of things.
I feel like it
We've been
would've
together
more
11
soothing,
and a half
though.
years.
Well, it's probably you're probably learning more about it. She's probably coming out and talking a little bit more about her triggers. So yeah, I mean, at first they don't want to tell you. Yeah, I mean, we're men. We don't
You're
even know
not
what
as,
it is.
You're not as comfortable with each other in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you're just trying to hide
it.
it.
Would have been more soothing, but now it's like,
Now I can be a little more blunt with her, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
like suck it up.
Yeah.
No.
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm the same way sometimes. But I think it's because we come accustomed to, us being comfortable. We've been here with our wives this long.
But also,
They're in
regardless,
love.
at the end of the day, if you don't have anxiety, you truly don't get it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, you can try to understand. We can
sympathize,
exactly.
but we can't empathize.
We could try to explain it to you all day, but you don't truly, fully understand unless you experience it.
That's correct.
Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on tonight. Dustin and Jamie here. Nurse practitioner, mom, dad's a fireman, and takes pictures of his x-rays. People, if you break your arms. Don't forget, we're going to leave the link in our description or the notes or whatever below, wherever we can leave a link. We're going to leave her email. If you guys got any questions on type 1 diabetes, hit her up. She'll do her best to get to you. I think that'd be cool. Kind of lean on her for some, any question, support, and she's got that nurse practitioner background, so she knows what she's talking about. We'll also leave that podcast. Juice Box. We're going to link that below as well. Don't forget to pick up your Awesome Lawson merch if you want that new drip. If you want trying to look like Cadence and all that cool stuff, you know what I'm saying, that bussing gear, you need to go pick up some at theawesomelawsons.com. Don't forget, we're over on TikTok as The Awesome Lawsons. We're on YouTube as The Awesome Lawsons. Instagram is the.awesome.lawsons. And now we're here on Spotify, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. And we will see you next time. As always, stay awesome and stay sweet.